there, I'm Andrea Euclid and I'm with Kelly Harrington and we're with Healthy Goods. Kelly Harrington is our registered dietitian nutritionist and we're coming today to talk to you about the food storm that is ahead of us. The holiday food storm.
The holiday season is around the corner.
It's here. I can't believe it, next week.
Christmas,
New Year's. It's coming and it's coming fast.
With foods you don't normally eat, right?
That's right. That's right.
Stuff that you probably try to avoid normally in your normal everyday life, but then all of the parties, the office parties, the New Year's Eve parties,
cookie
the
baking,
Christmas parties, the Thanksgiving dinner, the sweets, you name it, the alcohol,
the high starchy processed carbs. I mean, it really is a food storm in your gut.
It really is. And so what we're trying to help you guys with today and to talk about today is ways that you can build a healthy gut in preparation for this food storm so that it doesn't wreak havoc as much as it might normally if you're not prepared and your gut isn't healthy to begin with.
It's right, and it really is about protecting your gut. Now, Kelly, I heard that 70% of your immune system is actually in your gut. Is that true?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's huge.
Right. 70% of your immune system receptors are found in your gut. So if your gut is not healthy, then your overall body health is likely not healthy as well.
Well, and I'm sure it could be one of those things where you take most of the year, you eat healthy, and then the holidays roll around and it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
And it really shouldn't be, because no matter what time of the year it is, you really have to protect your stomach and your gut.
Yeah, so if you can do a little damage control to keep that from happening, you're less likely to get sick throughout the holidays, which we all want.
Right.
And you're less likely to have GI issues of any sort that you might get if your gut's not healthy.
And so the three things that are really important to gut health are prebiotics, probiotics, and enzymes. And Kelly's going to tell us a little bit about how they all work together. So it's important to actually incorporate all three, right, Kel?
Yes, I think they all three work together really nicely. And I do want to say it's all of the refined sugars, the refined starches, and a lot of the processed foods that are typically high in sugar and refined carbs
and alcohol, right? A lot of alcohol over the week.
Those sugars feed all the bad, nasty bacteria in your gut. They thrive off of those sugars. So they grow and grow, and eventually they can overpopulate the good bacteria in your gut, and then that's what makes you sick, basically.
Right. And it really breaks down your immune system, and it basically causes a lot of stress and inflammation in the body.
Yes, it can cause inflammation. Eventually, if your bad bacteria outweigh the good bacteria, it can lead to a lot of chronic digestive issues. It can lead to leaky gut. It can lead to IBS. It can lead to Crohn's disease. It can lead to just overall inflammation and GI issues that don't go away.
It's amazing. It really is amazing how the foods that you feed your body impact how it reacts and what it can. You can either have a really healthy body by feeding it nutritionally proper or nutrition like on a proper level, or you can eat the sugars and high processed carbs and things that are mostly in American diets, and you can have just tons of reactions that are so negative. So I'm really glad that we're talking about how to strengthen your gut and your gut health.
It starts in your gut for sure.
So should we talk a little bit about enzymes first?
Okay, let's talk about the digestive enzymes. We have a couple examples here.
We do.
And so what the digestive enzymes are they are proteins that help break down your food and help the absorption of your food, and it breaks them down into smaller pieces so that your body can utilize it. And there are different types of digestive enzymes for different types of foods. So like amylase is the enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates, and that starts in your mouth actually. And protease breaks down the protein, lipase breaks down the fat. So there's different strains of digestive enzymes that break down different foods. And some people have a little bit of trouble breaking down certain foods, like if you have celiac disease, if you're lactose intolerant, if you have some intolerance, if you have some intolerance to gluten, those are all types of things that digestive enzymes can really help. But then also if you've eaten a big holiday meal, it can also help sort of break those down for you as well.
And help with the digestion,
with the digestion, and that's right.
So the thing about, that I like about enzymes, a lot of people have, I think enzymes are probably for most people, but if you have like stomach cramps after you're done eating, or
bloating,
gas,
gassy,
diarrhea. Those things are all telling you that there's something going on in your gut that is not working properly.
Right. So ideally, you would want to figure out what is causing those problems, but temporarily the digestive enzymes would really help with that.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's very important to get to the root of the problem.
Yeah. And many people stray from their diet during the holidays,
right?
Or maybe they don't even realize what they're eating is affecting their stomach. And so these digestive enzymes might help for the short term, for sure, until you figure out what exactly is happening.
And now, and enzymes I think it's probably important to have a supplement, correct? Whereas like foods, you could get prebiotics and probiotics for foods, but I think enzymes probably.
Yeah, the enzymes, sometimes people's gut don't make enough enzymes, because most people make, your body naturally makes these enzymes that I just mentioned earlier. However, for some reason, some people's bodies aren't making enough, whether it be a health condition that they have and maybe don't know about, but they needed the help from a supplement.
Right. Yeah. And again, those indications of bloating, gas, diarrhea or stomach cramps, those are all indications that it would be good for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we highlighted the Euclid Digest-Time or the Digest-Time Plus.
You know what? Some people might think they need a Tums or an antacid after they eat.
But that's actually the wrong effect, right?
Yeah, because that decreases your stomach acid even more and can actually allow the bad bacteria to thrive even more. So the digestive enzymes would be a much better option than like a Tums. So if you're one of those who takes Tums after you eat, consider a digestive enzyme, because it might do the job even more effectively. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I've heard that too in the past, that it's almost counterintuitive to take a Tums, because you actually need the acid that helps break down those foods, and the person is actually lacking in them. And so, I'm glad you said that about the enzymes. And since we talk about toxic metals a lot, Tums contain aluminum. So a lot of the antacids contain aluminum, so you don't want to take those anyway.
We do not want aluminum in our bodies. That is for sure. In fact, we encounter it in so many places that where you can cut it out.
Yes, exactly.
So moving on, Kel.
So the next thing, probiotics.
Yes, the probiotics.
Okay, so probiotics, we're going to talk about prebiotics and probiotics. So there is a difference. The probiotics are the good bacteria that grow inside of your gut. So there's trillions, over 100 trillion bacteria in your body. It's also known as the microbiome. I wrote some blogs about the microbiome, and it just includes all the bacteria throughout your body.
But you've actually written some great blogs on the microbiome that I just want to put a plug in for. If you want to learn more about that, Kelly has done so much extensive research and how the microbiome is so important. Microbiome health is so important.
It's an awesome topic.
Yeah, we should definitely check out those blogs on our site, because you will not be sorry about the information that you find in that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can get your probiotics naturally through food, or you can also get it through a supplement. And if you're looking for a supplement, if you want a probiotic to just maintain your digestive health and maintain your immune system, around 5 to 15 colony forming units, it's CFUs, you'll see it as, is about the range, billion I must say, so 5 to 15 billion CFUs is about the range for maintenance. Now if you're trying to heal a minor ailment or a minor health condition, then I would go up to around 15 to 45 billion CFUs.
And I imagine that there's a lot of people who need that for their healing, for gut healing.
For sure, I would say so too. Yeah, definitely.
So it's important to look for those strands. So what do you recommend then for maintenance? What was that number for the maintenance?
5 to 15 billion. And then about 15 to 45. Okay. Research hasn't quite shown that anything over 45 is going to help you even more. Okay. So if anything, you just maybe want to up how frequently you're taking, spacing it out. So what those bacteria do is they embed themselves in your gut, and they start to grow. I picture it kind of like grape clusters. Yeah. Like they colonize. That's like the real word, is they colonize and grow and grow. And so the more good bacteria you have, if some sort of bad bacteria, whether it be a virus or that sneaks in, the good bacteria can fight it off.
That's amazing. So it's really, really important to have those probiotics, so that you really do have I guess it would be almost like a shield, or a standing guard against the bad. Right. That's how I picture little round things standing guard.
That's a really good explanation. I love it.
Don't go in my brain. You don't want to go there. Just for another day.
That's awesome.
So can we get probiotics from? Because you can get probiotics.
So we have some stuff over here.
Yeah.
Kefir is a really good one. And if you're ambitious and want to make your own, this is a really cool kefir starter kit. And it contains the live probiotic cultures, different strains. And then here's another one. This is sourdough bread starter kit if you're able to eat gluten and you want to try that out.
This is actually a gluten-free one.
Oh, it is? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't
so
know
we
that.
do have a gluten one, but this is they offer a gluten-free. Yep.
Awesome. And I did want to point out that we have some coconut kefir starter kits if you're dairy-free. So you can get your probiotics still through like a non-dairy source, which is awesome.
And we have a yogurt starter as well, so kefir and a yogurt. Yep. So they have a good line, and a kombucha.
The dairy products are a good source. Some of those fermented drinks, any sort of fermented food, kimchi, sauerkraut, those are all really good sources of probiotics. If you're into some of these drinks lately, they're like an apple cider vinegar type tonic. You want to make sure they're low in sugar.
Yeah, that's
This
important.
one only has 2 grams total. This one has 10 grams total. But like I said, the sugar is not always good for some people's gut, especially if you're really out of balance already. So go for as low as sugar as possible with the kombucha or these tonic drinks. Otherwise, I think it could kind of like outweigh the advantage of the probiotics.
Well, that's exactly right. I'm so glad that you said that because I was a big kombucha drinker before my keto diet, and now there's too much sugar in it.
Yeah, right.
But I was drinking them because I thought that they were so good for me, and I won't say the brand that I was drinking, but one day you had mentioned that to me, and I had looked at the back, and it was 10 grams of sugar and 2 servings in one bottle. So that's 20 grams of sugar. I might as well drink a Coke.
Yeah, that's
at that point. So like you said, yes, there's some really good things in kombucha, but if sugar's outweighing it, then what's the point?
Right. And I do want to add, it's there's a lot of different types of strains of probiotics, and this is kind of current research where scientists are trying to figure out that like this strain is important for eczema, and this strain is important for lactose intolerance, and this strain is important for IBS. So that's kind of upcoming research, which is so interesting. It's good to have a variety of different strains. So
it's targeted almost because I guess that probably makes sense with the immune system and all of the different things that it needs to take care of. So that's really cool.
And they're live, right? These are live cultures.
Exactly.
And so let's talk about that. If you're going to be taking probiotics, whether it be in a capsule or a powder,
which we have both here. We have capsules and powders.
So ideally you want to take it after a meal, because the stomach acid environment in your stomach is lowest after a meal. And I think depending on what you read, there's a little bit of different advice you might hear. Like some people will say, take it after breakfast in the morning because that's when your stomach acid is naturally the weakest. But then I've also read, and this is the recommendation I like, is to take it about 10 to 15 minutes after dinner because your stomach acid is low from after dinner. However, you have 8 hours or more while you're sleeping to allow those probiotics to kind of embed and colonize into your gut without any other food or meals interfering with it. So I really like that idea too.
That's so fascinating. But I'm glad that you mentioned that as well, because I think that we know that there's been some research out there that shows that not every probiotic can make it or survive through stomach acid. And so, like you said, it's good to look for a high quality probiotic.
Don't wake up in the morning and take it on an empty stomach because likely the acidity it will damage some of the bugs.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you want to help them get through the stomach acid so that it can colonize in the stomach where it's
and that's another reason to have a high quality brand type for your probiotics so that those strains are stronger.
Yes.
And they're less likely to be killed off from the acid.
That's right. And we just have a couple that we at Healthy Goods, we carry numerous probiotics and prebiotics, but they're ones that we stand behind. This is a huge customer favorite, is the BioCult. Also the Seeking Health, although this was
I like the Probiotic 12 Seeking Health. We don't have that here, but the Probiotic 12 comes in either capsule or powder, and it's really potent.
This one's specifically for women.
That one's a good one for women. Yes, I like that it has 10 different strains of probiotics, so I like that it has 25 billion CFUs.
And then this is a new product that we just brought on from Dr. Mercola, and these are actually powder packets, which, Kelly, you have 2 small kids. Wouldn't that be a great way to kind of sneak in some probiotics into your kids?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can mix it with their whatever they're drinking, even with water.
Or maybe some yogurt.
You could stir it in with
or applesauce.
Yeah, you could stir it in with a lot of different foods.
Yeah, so that would be a good way. Like if you don't like to take pills, or if you have children, this is a really good way of sneaking in some probiotics to help their
The powder is a good option for sure if you don't like pills.
Absolutely. And then we have this new product from Euclid Health and Nutrition that is the Bifidus 45B. And this is another really good line.
The Bifidobacterium is a probiotic line, and there's all different types of Bifida. I think that's how you say it.
Yes.
Yeah, Bifidobacterium. There's Breve. There's Bifidum. There's Infantis. Probably a lot of things you can't pronounce, but they're all different strains of this particular one.
So this is really good for the immune system, with the strains for the immune system.
This has also been connected with, I believe, like eczema in infants. Like if the mom takes probiotics when she's pregnant, the kids are less likely to have eczema. There's been some research on that.
Isn't that amazing?
Totally amazing. And another thing, there are a couple different strains of the Bifidobacterium being one of them, and a lactobacterium strain. They're connected to being able to remove BPA from your GI tract.
That's very important.
Yeah, and the BPA is it's a xenoestrogen. Yep. It's a toxin basically, and it's very damaging. It's really dangerous.
It messes with your hormones, correct?
It messes with your hormones.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
So that's commonly found in like plastic water bottles or in the lining of your tin cans, your aluminum cans.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that those probiotic stains can help decrease your BPA buildup in your body.
And even though I think we live sort of in a culture now that's realizing BPA toxins, and you'll see a lot of things that you buy now will say BPA free.
Right.
However, there's still a ton of products out there that, still contain BPA, and that leaches right into you.
Yeah.
And if you can counter that with a probiotic, I mean, you're doing your body such a huge favor. Right. So then that toxin is not settling in your body.
Yeah, and pretty easy too, right? Yeah. That's such an easy solution.
Exactly. I mean, so a whole host of things.
Yeah, let's
Prebiotics.
talk about prebiotics. So
definitely.
Prebiotics are basically the food that your probiotics thrive on and eat in order to grow. So prebiotics are really good and important for the probiotics to be able to grow. And typically prebiotics come from different types of foods. So it's interesting because the prebiotics are actually like a lot of sugars they're indigestible sugars in your GI tract.
That's the sugar you want.
So so that's the good sugar, but then we already talked about the bad sugar that the bad bacteria thrive on. So you really want to feed your body the good sugars, and we have some food here because these foods, asparagus, onion, banana, are some common ones that are very high in prebiotics. So if you're eating a diet full of like fruits and veggies, you're probably getting a good amount of prebiotics, but it doesn't hurt to like include some of these other fun superfoods like this yacon powder is a good prebiotic, and the baobab powder is also a common prebiotic.
So baobab powder is my favorite superfood. And it comes from the baobab tree that grows in Africa. And what I love about it is that it's alkaline and it's a prebiotic, and it's just so good for your gut health that it tastes like a sweet tart. I know I've talked about baobab powder before. I sound like a broken record. So much vitamin C in it, but it truly is my favorite superfood. And so I can't help but it is. I can't help but talk about it all the time because it just makes me so excited that it's got so many nutrition. They call it the tree of life, and they call it the tree of life for a reason because there's so many great properties to it.
And we also contain, if you want to get even more prebiotics, then we contain some really cool, or we sell some really cool powders. Like this is a prebiotic supplement, and some common prebiotics are like chicory root. If you've heard of chicory root, I think it's common like in the South, they put it in coffee sometimes. And then inulin is also a common, beta glucan is those are common.
I'm glad she's here to be able to pronounce all those words.
Indigestible sugars or starches that feed your gut. So,
question for you.
Yes.
How do the prebiotics and the probiotics work? If you have enough time to sort of go over that. If not, we can link to a blog. But I mean, they work together, right? The prebiotics and the probiotics?
So the prebiotics feed the probiotics to grow and colonize. They feed them.
Oh, well,
because
like
they're alive,
said,
they're
the
bacteria,
sugar.
and they have to have food.
Ah.
So that's the good sugar that feed the good bugs, and then the bad, like the donuts and the cookies and the pumpkin pie, is what feeds the bad bugs.
Oh man, why does that stuff have to taste so good?
Right?
Although I will say that now that I'm not eating that stuff, I noticed that like when I eat fruit, because I can eat berries on the keto diet, it's really sweet, like sweeter than I have ever had. So it's amazing how those sugars in fruit really come out. Before, when I was eating crap, I didn't taste the sweetness like I do
and
now.
Also, if you've ever cut like the refined sugars out of your diet and then started eating them again, you might notice that you do start to get gas, you start to get a little bloated, and that just shows that you went from balanced to probably out of balance, or your gut just isn't happy.
And then I would be taking double the enzyme, the enzymes that I would need to get myself
and then it's just
back on
like
track.
a vicious cycle. So if you can try to like just reduce it as much as possible. I mean, I'm a realist, right? So I know that we eat sweets, but just as much as possible, if you can reduce it, it's just for your benefit.
Right. And now what about the apple cider vinegar?
Yes, so this is a fermented apple juice, and like I said, fermented foods are a good source of probiotics. So it just is another strain. I'm not exactly sure the strain in the apple cider vinegar that would just feed your gut the good bacteria that it needs. So I think it's good to get a variety of probiotics from different sources.
So Kelly and I are going to get a jump start on calming the food storm before it gets here, and we are going to work on boosting our gut and our immune system with this body ecology, and this is the Biotics. This is a very popular product as well. I know a lot of people really like this. Now, neither one of us have actually tried this, so
I'm excited. Let's see what it tastes like.
And we thought we'd go really fancy today. We're pretending to really get a jump on the holidays.
Okay, you guys, these are really fancy.
Yeah.
With that, George W. Bush, the President's Dinner.
Yeah, this is from I know, I am so fancy. This is from my former life when I was living and working in Washington, D.C. And then I figured out that for my health, I actually needed to leave there. And I added several years back onto my life living in Oregon and working for a health goods company where I have all these wonderful things at my fingertips. Right, Kelly?
All
right, let's taste this. Cheers to the holiday season.
So fermented food is sour.
Yeah, it's got that sour taste. Yep. I was going to say, my mind was tricking me that it was champagne by the glass, but it sure doesn't taste like it.
And then the aftertaste, it tastes like I've eaten like bread or something.
Yeah, you know, it does. It's almost got like a starchy taste. Yeah. And I can taste some coconut in it. Mm-hmm. I think it has coconut in it. I can taste that.
It's good. I think that
I'll enjoy
with these kind of drinks, personally, I would never drink that whole bottle in one sitting. I would drink like maybe an ounce or two at a time over the course of 2-3 days.
Yeah, and I think it says the serving on here is an ounce.
2 ounces.
2 ounces, which is about what we had.
Yep.
So you can get all of these products, the prebiotics, the probiotics, the fruit and vegetables you have to get from the store. But we do carry all the prebiotics that you see here in the enzymes.
Digestive enzymes.
Yep, you can get them all from healthygoods.com. And we will see you next week when we're coming at you Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And we're going to talk about your immune system then. So
great.
Join us next week.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.